Hey there, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for January 2022. And just a quick heads up, if you happen to be watching this prior to December 15th, 2021, might want to consider signing up for my special 2-hour webinar all about the major astrological and energetic shifts of 2022, and you can do so by signing up at my website, integrativemysticism.com. And even if you can't make it, I will be sending out replays to all who sign up and making replays available as well for purchase following the event. And so you can, of course, have a way to have access however you want to have access. And again, you just go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. It's the same place you would go to sign up for readings with me. So what's going on when it comes to your January? This January, I do want to remind everyone that we are still in a Venus retrograde season. Venus will have gone retrograde as of the 19th of December in Capricorn and will remain retrograde through the 29th of January. With Venus retrograde in Capricorn, this is impacting your 11th house of friendships and social networking, your platonic support system, and your community. And this can be a fairly difficult space to have a Venus retrograde. I'm not going to mince words, I'm not going to lie. Because with Venus retrograde, we always have pressure being put on the cracks that are already there. And in this case, we are talking about certain friendships or even certain group affiliations that you may have that you may want to, look about handling or think about handling in a different way. Because with Venus retrograde, issues revolving around insecurity, volatility, escapism, and instability itself will be coming up in all kinds of different connections or different relationships that you have with these friends or with these groups. And it may be time for you to rethink a lot of the way you hold your own boundaries, who you hold space for, why, and what you endorse and do not endorse about behavior that you are exposed to or that other people you care about are having to share. Sometimes this can happen all around one particular person, and sometimes this can happen around, again, a group. But we are going to be doing this again so that things are revealed to be released so we can have consistent, sustainable solutions and have the best support system and the best friendship circle possible. This will have a lot of its edge taken out of it, though. The first half of the month, we do have the Sun in Capricorn, in that same 11th house, bringing attention, enhancement, and support to you. So even though this Venus retrograde energy is there, a lot of your strongest friendships are actually getting a considerable boost to pick up the slack, and you are also going to be noticing a lot of wonderful opportunities to bond and delve more deeply into some of your tightest relationships. And this is also a time where a lot of fun, a lot of levity, a lot of new adventures are being brought your way so that you can actually enjoy a bit more recreation, a bit more fun, a bit more stimulation and novelty and creativity with your closest and your nearest and dearest. The Sun in Capricorn is also attracting a new support system to you that's built out of both your strongest from what you walk into January with and some wonderful newcomers that are also going to be, converging upon you this month and really just changing your whole social atmosphere. We also have Mercury in Aquarius direct the first half of the month in your 12th house of your past, your privacy, and your hidden zone. When we have Mercury direct in our 12th house, the planet of communications, haste, and speed is opening up old lines of communication to projects, to contacts, to people and opportunities in our past that we may actually be able to create new journeys or new adventures with now. This is also a time with Mercury in the 12th house for a lot of you Piscean people to get a lot of really cool intel about behind the scenes opportunities that are going on in your life that may not necessarily be ready for public debut. These could be things that are coming to you through the grapevine. These could be things coming to you on the job. But with Mercury direct here, you are getting a chance to get the inside track on a lot of really cool big breaks that not not everyone around you is going to be able to take part in just yet. This could be happening in a way where you are getting this special treatment from somebody near and dear, or somebody's taken a shine to you, or somebody that you already have a strong connection with, or this could be something that is being passed on to you in a very sly but very loving way. We also have Mars in Sagittarius in your 10th house of career in the first 2 weeks of the month. And the planet of action, passion, energy, and that driving force, that obstacle clearing energy is going really hard at work in your house of upward mobility, promotion, status, station, anything to do with bringing you up to a stronger, more prominent place in the world. And this is ultimately giving your career a very powerful boost. Now, with Mars in any work area, such as 10, 2, or 6 in the astrology chart, in this case 10 for you, yes, you are going to be very, very busy. This is a burning the candle at both ends kind of experience the first half of the month. But you are also raking in a lot of new opportunities and getting a chance to compete out of a lot of roles or a lot of statuses or a lot of stations that you've been in and graduate into something much more competitive, something much more substantial, and something that is going to allow you the time and the resources to fund a lot of other aspirations that you would like to actually bring forth into being this year. We also have a new moon in your 11th house of friendships and social networking, Capricorn, which occurs on the 2nd, which opens up a window period between the 2nd and the 17th for you to actually step into a new beginning, a new cycle, or the planting of a new seed of a big major goal with a friend or an ally or a collaborator that you are each going to be able to see through in the physical. This could be something that you are doing creatively, professionally, or something that you are just doing as this big, awesome, crazy quest or adventure. This may also be a new beginning for a quest or an adventure that you've been on that hasn't quite gotten off the ground yet. But a lot of you Piscean people are starting to notice the world change around you, the sensibilities of your social life change around you, and people are a lot more available to throw and go all in on a lot of these passion projects with you. And you yourself, with Mars in the 10th house, will be able to contribute and invest more as well. When it comes to the second half of the month, we've got the sun in Aquarius, your 12th house of your past, privacy, and your hidden zone, bringing that attention, enhancement, and support. And you are getting a chance with the sun in the 12th house to also revitalize or revive, things in your life that have maybe kind of dwindled in terms of their presence, their effectiveness, or maybe the amount of time you're able to spend on them. With the sun in the 12th house, we are bringing things to a space where they are back to health, not necessarily back to life, but back to health from our past, giving a nice infusion of new power, resources, and support to maybe relationships that we have not been able to actually give enough time or attention to, or maybe that we feel we wish we could give more time and attention to. Maybe we are giving this time and attention or these resources to an area or a corner of our career or a spiritual discipline or a creative path that we are on that, we have been forced to downsize in recent history. Now we can actually make more room for it. We can actually give it more life and more room to grow. The sun is also actually giving you a chance to, very much kind of like the focus he was doing in the 11th house, really delve more deep into getting closer or reconnecting with people that you still hold in high regard, but you just don't get to spend a lot of time with these days. We also have Mars moving into your 11th house of friendships and social networking, bringing that action, that driving force, passion and energy and obstacle clearing to really rev up your social life. Because when Mars goes into the 11th house, people are really showing up for us. Our friends, our colleagues, our confidants, our whole fellowship is gathering around to ultimately throw all their weight behind us. And the team is not only stronger for it, but we are really actually coming together to have a whole new sense of community, a whole new sense of tribe, a whole new sense of village. This is also going to be a month where a lot of obstacles standing between you and a major goal or a major aspiration that you would like to achieve, or maybe a lot of obstacles that have maybe come between you and important friendships, important relationships, whether it's a wall or it's just simple interference. Mars is going to be working really, really hard to drive a lot of that out. Now, this is all about strengthening bonds, because Mars is all about camaraderie, brotherhood, sisterhood, really getting everybody together to be as close and strong and, and again, connected as possible. But you may also find that during the course of this transit, very much like Venus retrograde, Mars is not necessarily a very sympathetic ear to fair weather friendships, or maybe unhealthy or unbalanced friendship interactions or friendship dynamics. And you may notice that Mars may give the boot to some fair weather types, or those that are just simply not true blue or not good for you. We also have Mercury turning retrograde in week 2. He will start in Aquarius in that 12th house from the 14th through the 25th of the month, and then venture on back into Capricorn, your 11th house of friendships and social networking, to remain in Capricorn from the 25th through the beginning of February, when he turns direct. So it's kind of a weird one. With Mercury retrograde in the 12th house, this is an opportunity for you to actually kind of adjust things that were done in the past that are going to allow you to have a completely new trajectory and a completely new future in the present. This is all about you changing things that maybe you had done, or taking things off the table that you would like to take off the table, or alter the course of something that you had set in motion in recent or less recent history, whether it's something that you wish to take back or something that you just wish to tweak. This is also a time where you may be finding that a lot of things are boomeranging back to you as well for a revisit, revision, or rearrangement. Again, it's only a short period, the 14th to the 25th, but you know what? It's a cool window to play with. Just be careful with Mercury retrograde in the 12th house. Sometimes what can happen there is a lot of secrets can come out, and it might throw everyone off for a little while. After the 25th, Mercury retrograde slips back into Capricorn and goes into one of the most innocuous places a Mercury retrograde could be. Because in the 11th house, we are also getting you back in touch with people, or with connections or friendship dynamics that you are getting a chance to reunite with. People that you've had a falling out with, people that you maybe drifted from, friends that, take you way back in time, whether it's new friends that are reminiscent of friends you had, way back in the day. We're talking like college, high school, even younger, or even reconnecting with those people as well. People who are kind of coming up in the world in their own way. A lot of you may be reuniting with old BFFs. There's something about getting the band back together for you as well. And I think we're kind of getting the band back together, and we are merging with the new band we are building, in more recent history as well. So a lot of you are going to have a very strong entourage, very strong posse by the end of January. Finally, we have a full moon in Cancer in your 5th house of romance, recreation, creativity, pleasure, and your relationships with your kids or parenthood. And with a full moon, which occurs on the 17th here, there's a big window between the 17th of this month and the very beginning of February, where a lot of culminations, climaxes, and transitions are getting underway, because we are going through and closing a lot of stories or a lot of narratives that have been playing out in these areas of our life for some time. This can be incredibly exhilarating, especially when it comes to turning over a page or a new leaf in a current relationship that you're in, a romantic partnership you're in, maybe even ending a period of being single or available for those of you who are, in that space. A lot of you may find that we are raising the roof energetically in that sense and creating a culmination in that respect. And some of you may be finding that this is also changing your romantic future with a current partner, or maybe something brand new coming in that's changing a romantic endgame or a romantic timeline that you've been on. This, however, can be a time where the energy is raised really, really high because important talks need to be had, sensitive talks need to be had, and it is happening during the Venus retrograde time, so make sure we're practicing patience. Things could also get a little bit heated with kids. If you have to talk to your kids about anything sensitive, just make sure that you understand that this is about bringing something to a head so we can all step onto a new page together. So that is what I've got for you, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.